Hey, what's up, guys and gals? Troy, TXRC Productions here. Today we're talking FPV stuff. Anybody following the page knows that I was actually rebuilding my Spyder 260, which is here. And we put all the parts from it into the Diatone 250. So Spyder's gone. The reason we beat the heck out of it. Again, my pilot skills are not great. It's pieced together with hot glue and all kinds of epoxy and everything. But this little frame actually was great. If it wasn't for my pilot skills, drilling it into a curb at 50 miles an hour, it probably would have survived a lot longer. That being said, all of our gear again is from Multi-Rotor Mania. It's where I get most of my gear from. You want it fast, you want it right, and you want good budget pricing. They're going to get you as close to Chinese pricing as you're going to get, but you're going to get it fast from the U.S. So cool, Multi-Rotor Mania. What I am rocking is their budget value DYS 1806s. They're an amazing little motor for the price. I mean, like 12 bucks a pop, I think, and an 1806 motor that rocks, especially if you're like me and you're going to be crashing it. They're not Cobras, but they're definitely going to get you flying. I have the Sunrise 20 amp ESCs that I had originally chosen because of the tube arms that I was trying to keep it nice and cool. They didn't fit very well in the front arms on the Spyder, so we had to rearrange that. However, on the Diatone, man, I mean, I wouldn't say these are made for this, but I personally like the way that I layered these in there, and you'll see in the pictures coming up that it does overlap the PDB, so you had to kind of sandwich the arm in between the PDB, the ESC, and the lower plate. But once I got that kind of in there and arranged, it was cool. It took a little planning. I shrink tubed the ESC to the arm up here, and I had it nice and tight, but I left this one loose until I got all the screws in and tightened down, and then the final step was to put the second, or to shrink down the second set of shrink tube ring. So it's all held in there with shrink tubing on the arm, so it's nice and clean. At least I think it is. These slim ESCs are great for this because if you notice, it leaves a good amount of the arm protecting the ESC. So I like that. Obviously, people are putting these ESCs underneath and sandwiching them in between boards and stuff, and that's fine. I kind of like mine out on the arms. Look, if I trash a $10 ESC or $15 ESC, I'll go get another one. I don't know. I think it gives me a good view of it. I like to see what my ESCs are looking like. I like to feel my ESCs, make sure they're not burning up. And it just keeps them nice and cool, too. I'm not one of these, crazy pilots, though, thrashing through trees and stuff. So that's me. PZO 420, like always, up front. Best camera for the dollar. Get it from RunCam if you want. Get it from Surveillance Zone, wherever. I go RunCam because that's what I rock. The RunCam is a great camera for the price. I'm sorry, dollars the nuts. You can't get better than the RunCam HD, especially the S model, the new one that has basically a GoPro lens on it. It's a great little camera for 30 frames per second at 1080. For my speed, my flying, hey, it works. I know some of you guys need the 60 frames per second because, you're Sharpoo and all that. I'm a god and all that. So you guys are, killer pilots. Great. Get the better, higher gear. For me, and most of the guys flying, I think a RunCam HDS will work. We are rocking a DR42 from Free Sky, which we rock with the Tyrannus. Good deal. CC3D is pretty much in all of my copters that are DIYs. I like the CC3D. I like the open pilot format. It works for me. I've dug deep into it and figured out how to do some nice tuning on it. This copter is not tuned, though. I have the XT60. This was the only issue I had. I couldn't figure out a great way without putting a pigtail on it. I do not like pigtails these days. I've been trying to find some better ways of running these connectors. So this one's soldered directly to the board, and I actually have my BEC, which is up front right there on the top plate. The BEC, because I have opto ESCs, the BEC is feeding the CC3D and it's feeding the RX. So that's tapped in here at the bottom of the plug, but the plug is actually direct soldered to the PDB at an angle. So I have it like that to where that plug will get plugged in and it is just barely a hair off the prop. Close enough, good for me. I like it. It makes for a real nice clean setup, and you'll see in my pictures the way I run my cable. I'm sorry, I think it's gangster. I like that. Besides that, I mean, that's our Diatone. I just want to say this kit is great, man. This is a nice little kit for 30, 40, 50 bucks, however much you pay for it at your spot. I worked a deal with somebody here in town that had a brand new kit. The LEDs, man, they provide LEDs, and you'll see them in the pictures. You solder those on yourself. They provide you a couple of extras. They provide you a bunch of extra dampening balls, all the extra screws. Like there's one or two of extra screws and nuts of everything. But in general, I mean, this thing really, it goes together nicely. I don't have any complaints about it whatsoever. I think it's a nice little kit. I want to say I respect the hell out of you guys that are designing these new frames, these high-end frames, these high-dollar frames. I know it costs money to make new frames, to design, to get product, to all this stuff. I get that. For me, I'm sorry, a budget value frame like this is where I need to go because I'm not a high-end pilot. I will get some higher dollar frames as I go along and as I get better. But as pretty as those frames are and as great as they are, I'm just not a full on pilot yet for FPV, and I'm not racing or anything. And for me, this is how I go. This copter, roughly with VTX, with everything you see here, $200. I mean, ish. Again, $10 a motor, 10 let's just say 25 an ESC and a motor. That's $100. $20 on the flight controller. 25 on a camera. Frame $40 technically. RX $20. VTX $25, $30. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty damn good. So for $200, I really think it's a great looking frame, and it's a great feeling frame. I'm not worried about quality. I mean, if I break it, I'll buy another frame, I guess. That being said, that's our first impressions of the build. I hope you enjoy the build. Look at how clean I did it. I hope you like how clean I did it. I think it's pretty darn clean for one of my builds. And I think I really thought of a lot of different things. There's some cleanup that I can still do, and I will. But for now, we're going to go fly it, and we're going to come back, and we're going to post some video of the flight, and I'll do a quick little chat about how I really thought about the flights of it. But I can't imagine it's going to be bad, right? It's a FPV copter. Come on. It's going to be fun. Cool. You guys, thanks for watching. ATXRC Productions, thanks for watching. Peace. Thanks, Diatone. Thanks, Multi-Rotor Mania. Thanks to all the supporters and all the audience. All you guys. Frank Ferry, Carolina Drones. You guys check Frank Ferry out at Carolina Drones. Hooking you guys up with some great deals and great packages. Tell them ATX sent you in the comments, or message them and tell them Troy sent you from ATXRC Productions. Help support me. That'd be great. Man, let's go. I'm going to go fly.